So here's the deal. My 27-year-old female dad is planning a ski trip for after the New Year's. When this trip was first mentioned, I was told my brother's 23-year-old male plus 25-year-old male, potentially their girlfriends, and my dad would be going. I said it sounded like fun and took time off. Recently I found out that my dad's girlfriend and her daughter, 19 years old, are also going. Not a huge problem in itself, but classic of my dad to not tell me they were coming initially. Long story short, my dad had an affair with his girlfriend when I was 16. I've never liked his girlfriend since. I'm cordial now, but I don't enjoy being around her. The reason this is a big deal, though, is because my dad told me that he planned on me and her daughter staying on the couch because he only got a place with 3 bedrooms. 1 bedroom for him and his girlfriend, 1 for one brother and his girlfriend, and the last one for my other brother plus girlfriend. Disclaimer: this is not because he can't afford it. He owns multiple vacation homes himself. I don't really feel comfortable sleeping in the main living room and not having any privacy on this trip. I need alone time, and after finding out that I'll have to be around someone I don't particularly enjoy, I really don't want to be forced to have constant togetherness time. I said that since I live about 5 hours away from the condo, I might get a hotel room for a night or possibly 2, depending on price, and drive up myself rather than spending 4 nights at the condo. I can still ski for a couple of days with them, but I need a bed. I can't stay the whole time in a hotel, and truly, I can barely afford a night or 2, but I'm nervous that if I say I'm not going altogether, I'll never live it down. My dad and brothers say I'm being dramatic and making a big deal about this and ruining it for everyone, and that since I don't have a boyfriend, I'm not entitled to a bedroom. I get it, but I also don't want to put myself in this situation. I didn't throw a fit or yell or anything. I just said that after learning about the accommodations, I don't think I can sleep 4 nights on a couch. My dad is pissed because he said I agreed and am now backing out because I don't get my own room. Am I being a jerk? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, not the idiot. You're 27, not 10. Nothing wrong with wanting a bed and privacy. Dad and brother's attitude actually is a bit misogynist, and it's plain stupid of them to say that your request for a bed and privacy are ruining it for everyone else. Next time, Dad needs to either get a place with 4 bedrooms or else 2 2-bedroom condos. Comment 2. You agreed to go on a trip. You didn't agree to sleep on a couch. At 27, you're old enough to make this decision yourself. Based on his actions, the best he's getting is 1 or 2 nights with you at a hotel. This will teach him to be more considerate in the future. Not the idiot. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Easy answer: don't go, cancel your time off and use it another time. It is really bad form to book accommodation that does not have enough bedrooms for everyone. Stay home now for the update. So I thought I'd drop an update on the ski trip saga, since a lot of you were super supportive and offered some great advice. First off, I took a step back and really thought about why I was so upset. It wasn't just about the sleeping arrangements. It was a lot of old hurt resurfacing and feeling like an outsider in my own family. I decided to have a heart-to-heart with my dad before the trip. It was one of those conversations that start out super awkward but end up being really cathartic. I told him how I felt about everything, not just the trip but our family dynamics and the past. To my surprise, my dad actually listened. I mean, really listened. He apologized for how things had gone down in the past, especially with his girlfriend and how it affected me. He admitted that he'd been insensitive to my feelings and was so caught up in trying to blend our families that he didn't see the lines he was crossing. Then the kicker, he offered to book an additional room for me. Not because I'm single and entitled to it, but because he realized I needed my space, and it was important for me to feel comfortable. But here's the real heartwarming part. The trip went way better than I expected. My dad's girlfriend and I actually had a chance to clear the air. It turns out she was feeling pretty awkward about the whole situation too. We're not going to be best friends anytime soon, but there's a newfound mutual respect. And her daughter? She's actually pretty cool. We spent some time on the slopes together and bonded over our mutual dislike for early mornings and our love for hot chocolate with an irresponsible amount of whipped cream. We decided to take turns on the couch without anyone telling us to, and it worked out fine. One evening, we all gathered around the fireplace, my dad, his girlfriend, my brothers and I, sharing stories and laughing over old memories. It was nice. For the first time in a long time, it felt like we were a family. A slightly unconventional one, but a family nonetheless, so thanks Reddit. For the advice, the tough love, and the encouragement. This trip taught me that forgiveness is powerful, and while it doesn't change the past, it sure does reshape the future. I'm cautiously optimistic about where we go from here. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's refreshing to see someone handle family drama with maturity. You communicated your feelings effectively, which is more than what most people can manage. It's great your dad stepped up by acknowledging his mistakes and making amends with the extra room. Plus, building bridges with his girlfriend and her daughter. Kudos to you for turning a potentially awkward situation into a positive family bonding experience. Keep that optimism flowing. Comment 2, you're the idiot. I can't believe you almost bailed on this trip because of past issues. Your dad and his girlfriend were trying to make an effort, and you were ready to throw it all away over what? Some old grudges? It's good that things turned out well, but you were this close to missing out because you couldn't let go. You should be more open-minded and forgiving from the get-go. Comment 3, not the idiot. You've shown incredible personal growth and a willingness to move forward. It's no small feat to have a heart-to-heart with a parent, and it's even more impressive that it led to positive changes. This trip could have been a disaster, but you turned it into a healing moment for everyone involved. It's a testament to the idea that communication is key in repairing and strengthening family ties. Well done. Now for the next story. Situation. I told him I would like to go back to my home country once a year, every Christmas break, that is for around 3 weeks per year, and he's very unhappy about it. He thinks I'm being irresponsible. We initially agreed on a compromise of only going back for 2 weeks over Christmas, so I can spend the remaining week with him, but I spoke to my mum, who is paying for the plane tickets, about it, and she seemed unhappy as she thought spending so much on tickets to only go back for 2 weeks was not good value for money. My point of view. 1. I want to go back once a year to visit friends and family. I don't see it as going on holiday, as he puts it. I see it as an obligation, that is, my parents will be unhappy if I don't go back. 2. I think Christmas is the best time to go back because I play outdoor sports, which are not available in my home country, and it's much easier to play said sport during Easter and summer in the UK. Christmas is simply too cold and wet. 3. Before I got my pet rodents, I asked him if he would be okay with looking after them while I was away, and he agreed. If he changed his mind now, I would take them to a pet boarding facility whenever I went away. His point of view. I'm irresponsible because, 1. I'll be leaving him alone during Christmas, and it's unfair to leave your loved ones during Christmas, especially as he doesn't have many friends or family. 2. I should try to integrate into the UK, and make an effort to become more British by staying here for Christmas and celebrating Christmas. Additionally, I'm not integrating into the UK if I have the desire to go back to my home country once a year. Immigrants who are properly committed to the UK don't really go back home, or they only go once every few years. 3. I will be leaving my pet rodents behind in his care. I shouldn't go away so often if I have pets. Leaving them in a pet boarding place is cruel. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. He is trying to control you. And GT2. I should try to integrate into the UK and make an effort to become more British. Total BS IMHO. If you are comfortable studying at the university, you are integrated. You should not become British. You should be yourself. Comment 2. What's all this British stuff he's hitting you with? If that's the case, I'm Gaunty Seymour should be enough to get through to him. Comment 3. Not the idiot. His behaviour is controlling. The part about having to become more British is just a gross way of trying to manipulate you into staying for him. Now, for the update. After sharing my partner's concerns and the heated discussions that followed, my mother's disapproval of the compromise and the ensuing stress, something rather unexpected happened. My partner initiated a heart-to-heart conversation, which honestly I was bracing for impact. But it took a different turn. They started by apologising for the way they had communicated their feelings. They admitted that their fear of being alone over the holidays had clouded their judgment, and that their comments about integration had been unfair and dismissive of my own cultural ties. I was taken aback by the vulnerability they showed. We spent the entire evening discussing what family and the holidays meant to each of us, peeling back layers of our relationship that we'd somehow ignored. It turned out my partner had been missing their own family traditions, but had not wanted to impose on my annual trip. They confessed that they'd always wanted to experience Christmas in my home country and understand the sports and traditions I cherished. We came to a beautiful solution. My partner would join me for the full 3 weeks. But what's even more, we decided to extend an invitation to their family to join us for a week. To our surprise, they were thrilled at the prospect of a Christmas adventure abroad. It felt like we were blending our worlds in the most intimate way. I could never have anticipated the bonding that took place. Our families, though from different backgrounds, found common ground in laughter, food, and the universal language of festive joy. My partner started picking up phrases in my native language, and my family adored them for their efforts and warm spirit. When it came to our pet rodents, rather than seeing them as a burden, my partner began involving their friends in their care. It became a community effort, with friends taking turns to stop by, which led to unexpected friendships forming and a newfound appreciation for the small creatures that brought everyone together. As for our relationship, it's the strongest it's ever been. We've learned to communicate in ways that foster understanding rather than division. We've promised each other to make room for both our cultures in our lives, not just during the holidays but throughout the year. This Christmas was the beginning of new traditions, a merging of families and a deeper commitment to each other. It's strange how a conversation that seemed like it might pull us apart ended up being the catalyst for bringing us closer together than ever before. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot at all. It's wonderful that you both managed to turn a disagreement into an opportunity to blend your traditions and families. It takes maturity and love to transform a potential conflict into a moment that strengthens your relationship. Plus, getting the pet rodents cared for shows your partner's commitment to the relationship and respect for your shared responsibilities. Well done. Comment 2. You're the idiot for initially not understanding your partner's fear of being alone over the holidays. It's a sensitive time for many, and requiring them to step out of their comfort zone without considering their feelings could have been hurtful. It's great that it worked out in the end, but your partner's fear should have been your first concern, not an afterthought. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Communication is key in any relationship, and it seems like you both nailed it. It's great to hear that not only did you resolve the issue, but you also came out with a better understanding and appreciation of each other's cultures and families. Extending the invite was a considerate move, and likely eased your partner's anxiety about being away from their own family during the holidays. Now, for the next story. So, right off, I acknowledge that I am probably the jerk, or that everyone sucks here at least. I just want to know if I'm a mild, medium, or extra spicy one. Yesterday I was at Chipotle for lunch. It was a Sunday, so they were short-staffed, but also a holiday weekend, when a lot of people are still with large family groups. I get it. When I got there, I was probably like fourth in line behind an older couple. I was there for a bit when I realised the couple was taking a really long time to order for what seemed like 15 to 20 people. Confusing ingredients on individual items, repeating a lot, etc. It bothered me a little, because this is exactly what mobile ordering calling ahead is for. So they were causing the line to build up. All the employees were making this order. 3 to 4 more people got in line while I was waiting. What made me say something was when the place ran out of shredded cheese. That's a problem with management and shouldn't have happened. But the staff realised it when about half of the order was finished and had to tell the couple this. Their response was to have the crew disassemble all the food and make them redistribute the cheese across the rest. By this time, I'd been fourth in line for 15 minutes, and like 10 more people had come in. People in line were starting to get upset and complain to the staff, which was making me angry. The crew was doing their best, and this couple was actively making their job harder. A great way to piss me off is for entitled people to cause service workers problems. So I said, "What the hell are you guys doing? Do you see the line of people waiting to order? Why are you doing this to the employees? Just take your order and go." The husband said that Chipotle ran out of cheese, and the staff needed to fix it. This Chipotle is in a plaza directly across from a Trader Joe's, so I pointed to it and said, "Go get some, then you can have as much cheese as you want." The husband said, "I shouldn't have to." I said, "Are you kidding me? Yeah, it sucks, but you're making things much worse and you can fix it yourself." He told me to mind my own business. I said they're making their problem everyone's, and they used up the cheese. It would have run out soon anyway, but I wasn't feeling generous. I wanted to embarrass them into just leaving. Their entitlement won, and they stayed, so I stood with my arms folded and glared at them. At this point, I just didn't want them to feel okay about doing this and to make them think about it in the future. The employees weren't saying anything to me and continued as usual once the couple finally left, after like 30 minutes. I did apologise to the cashier for causing a scene, and they said not to worry about it. I ended up getting queso sauce on my burrito instead of shredded cheese, and I think I might like it better. TLDR. Am I the jerk for angrily calling out a couple who were knowingly holding up a huge line and making the staff's job much harder than it should have been? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. The employees aren't allowed to stand up for themselves, so I think you were right to do it, not the idiot. My local Chipotle is also across the parking lot from a Trader Joe's, and for this reason I avoid that parking lot whenever possible. Atrocious vibes. Comment 2. Not the idiot. A, if you're placing that big of an order, it needs to be done ahead of time. And B, making the workers reassemble all the items when there is a huge line is a giant move. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank you for calling them out. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Thank you for seeing freaking stupidity and calling it out. These motherfuckers also drive and vote. If they suck this much in a food line, they deserve what they got. Now for the update. It's been a month since the Chipotle incident, and I figured I might as well update. I'm not sure why I'm even posting this. Maybe I'm looking for some sort of closure, or perhaps a way to make sense of the strange way our lives intersect. I ran into the older couple again. This time it was at the grocery store. They seemed a bit frazzled. We ended up in adjacent checkout lines, and I overheard bits and pieces of their conversation. Turns out they were buying food for a wake. Their grandson, the one they were ordering for at Chipotle, had been in a serious accident not long after that day. He didn't make it. I felt a lump in my throat as I listened. The cheese ordeal, the whole argument. Everything seemed so trivial, so painfully insignificant. They were just trying to do something nice for their grandson and his friends, and I had made it about myself. The guilt was overwhelming. I wanted to reach out, to say something, but what could I possibly say? After the store, I sat in my car and just, I don't know, reflected, I guess. It was a stark reminder that we never really know what someone else is going through. That couple, they probably don't remember me, but I remember them. I remember how I let my impatience and judgment get the better of me. I've been thinking a lot about kindness lately, about patience, about the small things that can make or break someone's day. I wish I'd been kinder. I wish I hadn't confronted them that day. But I can't change the past. All I can do is try to be better, one interaction at a time. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. We all have moments where our emotions get the best of us, especially over things that seem huge in the moment, but trivial in hindsight. You couldn't have known what that couple was going through, and it sounds like you've learned a valuable lesson in empathy and kindness. Don't beat yourself up. Use this as a stepping stone for personal growth. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Cheese at Chipotle is not worth an argument, especially with an older couple. Now, knowing their situation, I hope you see that patience goes a long way. You never know what someone else is dealing with, and a little kindness can make a big difference. Reflect on this, and maybe next time you'll think twice before making a mountain out of a molehill. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Hey, hindsight is 20/20th, right? You didn't know about their situation, and it's not like you set out to ruin their day. We've all been in a situation where we've snapped over something small. Sounds like you've got a good heart and genuinely feel remorse. Let this be a lesson in compassion, but don't let it weigh you down. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.